All right, we're live. Hopefully, someone will show up. Ken Small Engines. Bunch of work today. Just wanted to talk about what's going on. We'll see if anyone shows up. Today was mostly tractors and lawnmowers because lawn season is back. But I titled the video, Don't Sell Yourself Short, because there are times when you need the skills of somebody else. And today, I had a John Deere deck. A customer gave it to me about a week ago, ripped one of the hanger brackets clear off the deck, and pretty big hole, maybe 1.5 inches by 4.5. I mean, pretty good gaping size hole. And it's sheet metal, it's stamping. I have welders. I'm not good welding by any means, and I wanted it to be a good weld. So I ended up taking it to a friend of mine, and he charged me a reasonable rate, which I thought was very reasonable. And I put a markup on it, told the customer, and customer was happy. And I guess the thing is, you got to think about how you're charging your customers. Don't sell yourself short, meaning you've got a customer who's driving around in a nice four-door European sedan. He's not going to throw a mower deck in the back and take it to a welding shop. So there's value added to what you give to them. All right. Everything you do has value to it, not just what you're working on, but the services you provide that may not be coming from you. For example, I went over my buddy's place, made a trip over there, had to drop it off and then go pick it back up. But at the same time, I had another job where a basket on a bagger, on a Toro recycler bagger with a Kohler Courage engine, which I don't really care for because the gas tanks leak like crazy. You have to replace them all the time. Anyway, the basket, the wire basket that holds the grass bag together, the welds broke. So the thing that you lift it with, you just couldn't lift it anymore because the two spot welds broke. Anyway, so my buddy, for the same price, threw in spot welding the two pieces on that bracket. So I ended up, getting a deal. That was a value add from him. I mean, he gave me a good deal. He was happy. I mean, he made some decent money, I thought, and he thought, and we're all happy. But what I'm trying to get to is your time's worth money. So, for example, I had to go pick up a guy's tractor, bring it home, take off the deck, bring it to the welder. That's 2 trips right there. Then I have to go back to his house, pick it up when it's done, come back home, put it back on the tractor, and then bring it back to the guy. So 4 trips, 2 trips to the guy's house, 2 trips to the welder, 4 trips. What's your time worth? You're not going to charge your hourly rate that you would if you were working on a piece of equipment, because travel rates are a lot different. People used to say, $1 a loaded mile or something like that. But you have to look at that, because if a guy's 10 miles away versus 2 miles away, it makes a difference. Dealers in my area get $85 to pick up and deliver things. I mean, I don't charge nearly that, but you do have to charge something, because time spent on the road delivering or picking up something is time that you can't spend making money fixing something. So, think of it that way. Also, I did all these trips today. I probably did 8-10 trips in total with all the different things I worked on. Now my truck's empty, gas tank. Now I got to fill it up. Well, wait a minute. That's part of the money I should have put into the job when I charged the travel time to go get the stuff. Like I said, don't sell yourself short. Truck expenses, car expenses, whatever, trailer, whatever you need, those add up. Even something as simple as brake clean, rags, paper towels, the little things you use all the time, tube of grease, things like that. You don't really think about it, because when you're putting in together a bill for someone, you're not really adding that stuff in. Well, you should. For example, rags. Hey, James, how are you, sir? How you doing? Talking about charging jobs, this and that, trying not to get screwed when you charge a job. And what I did was I actually put in a $4 charge for a can of brake clean and some rags, because I used a can of brake clean and some rags. And, people, you don't think about that stuff. You think of that as part of your shop. But when I charge my shop rate, it's really for my labor. It's not really for supplies. So a lot of people won't charge for supplies. They'll put it into their shop rate, which is okay, as long as you're allowing for it in your shop rate. But when I go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy, a 12-pack of the blue rags and, half a dozen cans of brake clean, that's some serious money. So it has to come from somewhere. So when you do charge your jobs, don't sell yourself short. Look at all the things you're doing, whether it be travel time, whether it be incidental costs like rags and cleaners and things like that, because it adds up. Like right now, fill up my truck. I got a small truck. It's a little truck. It probably cost me $30 to fill up, but that's $30. Then if I go to Home Depot, Lowe's, pick up some more rags and brake clean, another $40, $50, $70, $80, that's real money. So you really have to worry. Doug, how are you, pal? Talking about charging for jobs, Doug. I did 4 or 5 big jobs today, and I just finished the last one delivering it. And I'm looking at what I charged, and I'm saying, did I sell myself short? Did I make the money that I needed to make sure there's fuel in the truck, to make sure I can get brake clean and the rags that I used, and a couple extra parts, things like that. So you really got to look at those things. And someone, I don't know if it was Donnie Boy or somebody else, went online talking about sales. No, Old Sneelock. His name's Old Sneelock. He's a guy, I think he's in Pennsylvania. He has some pretty cool videos, but he went to Tractor Supply and had some things on sale. Craig, how you doing, buddy? He went to Tractor Supply, this guy, Old Sneelock, and he saw some clamps, some big, long clamps. Chinese, but they're long clamps. And that's about right, Doug. Yeah, you're about right, depending. Yeah, I'm in the Northeast where things are a little bit more expensive, but then again, people are living in $1 million homes too. So a lot of times they won't flinch. But to get deals, I was at Home Depot the other day. Twisted R, how you doing, guys? The other day I went to Home Depot and they had Kohler filters for the Courage engine, which are normally $15, $16, clearance $3.95. I'm like, what? I thought it was a misprint. They had like 6 of them. I grabbed them all, and then those suitcase filters that are on a lot of the Briggs twins. There's 2 different ones, but they both interchange. They're not too bad. They're usually $15.95 for these filters. If you go to a dealer, then they'll sock you another $4 for a pre-filter. Home Depot had a clearance, or Lowe's. They had a 6-pack in a box, $2.99 each. I mean, how can you go wrong? But keep in mind, you'll buy it for the $2.99, charge the full price. I mean, that's the value add that you get when you find a deal. Don't sell yourself short. Just because you get a deal on parts or something, you don't have to pass the whole deal on to your customer. You need to make money too. In this way, if you're making a really good amount on something you bought, like for example, I don't have the tax number and all that stuff like this, because a lot of my stuff is just out of my driveway and things. But you get people with the tax numbers, they have the Stens accounts, the rotary accounts, stuff like that. You can get spark plugs for 80 cents. You can get filters that are normally $10 for 2. Those guys are really making good money on their parts. I try and keep my local mom and pop busy. There's a Toro dealer near me. I love him to death. I go there all the time. They give me a little discount, which is great, but I try and keep him in business because you want the mom and pops. So I'm there every Saturday, and if I'm off on a Friday, I'm there too. It's just try and keep the mom and pops going, but don't ever sell yourself short when you're pricing a job. Granted, friends and family come first. I get it. But if someone's calling you up and you're doing a favor, especially if you're doing something on a Saturday or a Sunday, who are you going to call on a Sunday to fix your lawnmower? Dealer's not open. No one. They're going to tell you come back and we'll have it for you in 4 weeks, or we may even look at it in 4 weeks. Where my value add is, I'm here Saturday and Sunday. Call me up. I can fix something for you. But that's worth something too. So don't be afraid to charge. Don't be afraid to make money on parts, and don't be afraid to charge for the things that you use all the time. Where do you get your fuel cutoff and gas? The fuel cutoff, I mean, a lot of times I try and use, I'll use Stens and rotary and things like that a lot. If my dealer has a good deal for me on some of the stuff, I'll use the dealer. I'll do the Briggs or the Tecumseh or something like that. But most people, they'll even go on Amazon now, rotary and Stens. The funny thing is, if you look in the rotary and Stens catalogs, they actually have a price list in the back, and you'd be amazed. It actually shows you what you're going to pay if you have a tax number and you're registered with them, okay? And you do your quarterly taxes. Like, for example, I can get a carburetor through Stens, say $22, and the list price is $69. So they expect you to sell it for $69, but you're only paying 20 something. Okay, that's how they do their catalogs. You look in the back, you look at the code. There's the code number. There's the list price, what you're supposed to sell it for, and there's the suggested list, and then what you sell it for. But a lot of guys, especially dealers, they make good money on parts. I mean, you're talking parts are 30 to 40 cents on the dollar for what they pay. So, but their volume, they stock stuff, and they've got $100,000 worth of inventory. I can't do something like that. So, like I said, don't sell yourself short. Make sure you're making money on parts. Your travel time is worth money. Gas in your truck is worth money. Wear and tear on your truck and your trailer is money. All that stuff. And when you're on the road picking up and delivering, that's time you're not spending fixing something for a good hourly rate. So just keep it in mind. I mean, I get home at the end of the day, like today. I've been going since 6 a.m. and I'm looking at what I made and what I did and all that. And I did okay. I mean, it was a day off of work where I spent some time doing some custom, lawn and garden. Make some money. Coffee money, lunch money. But what I like to do, 99% of all the money I make, I buy tools. I love tools. I'm a tool guy. I mean, I'll work on a job, and instead of paying someone to do something, I'll buy the tool and do it myself. I have a thing for tools. I don't know what it is. I needed my floors sanded. I bought a floor sander. I sanded my floors. I mean, I could have spent $2,000 to pay someone. I spent $1,200, bought the sander. I did it myself. So, things like that. It's just, I don't know. I'd rather have the tool and do things myself. Yeah. Doug, everybody says that to me, 100% Markup on Parts. And that's okay. If you're buying the Sten's rotary, say a fuel filter, for example, Sten's rotary, you're getting it for $3, or say you're getting it for $2. Yeah, you charge $4 or $5. That's fine. But if you're getting it from a dealer, even though he's a friend of yours or whatever, and he's charging you $6, $8, you're not going to charge 16, are you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you can. Don't get me wrong, because a lot of these people that cut their grass, I mean, they don't know what things cost. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I got to watch. But you're right. A good friend of mine in the heating business said to me, Kenny, 100% markup on parts. You got to make money on parts, because what I would normally do is I would charge like 10% on parts. And you know what? That doesn't even pay for my gas to go get them. But now you got Amazon, you got all that stuff. Hey, it delivers to your house. You don't have to do anything. You get a good price. Yeah, mark it up. I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, most parts, Craig, are 100%. They are. They really are. Oh, I tell you, Craig, I don't know if you guys were on, Craig, or any of you guys. I bought this Chromebook yesterday because I had that 1,000 subscription rule that I couldn't do live streams. And I was sad about that because I love talking to you guys and we have a great time. And I said, how can I do it without 1,000 subscribers? I can't do live stream. So I'm Googling it, and someone said, why don't you buy a Chromebook? I'm like, Chromebook? And they're like, yeah, Google. Google owns YouTube. You get a Chromebook. Live streams are free. It's a bigger screen. You can see everything. Like right now, I'm looking at you guys, and I don't even need my glasses on, my reading glasses, because it's a 15-inch screen. This is a $179 Chromebook. It's beautiful. I use it for the live streams. I could do regular videos on it. It's pretty cool. So, anyone looking to do the live streams and don't have the mobile device and don't have 1,000 subscribers, spend the $179, get a Chromebook. I got mine at Best Buy. They have them at Staples. It's pretty good. The fuel filters, 10 for 14. Wow. Oh, the fuel cutoffs. Yeah, but which one? The red plastic one, the quarter turn red plastic one. You got to watch on those sometimes, because I see guys at the flea markets with those, and some of the Chinese ones, I know everything's made in China, but some of the cheaper ones do leak. So you really got to watch those things. Like I said, Sten's, I trust Sten's. Sten's a good rotary, good product, those companies. And if you look, a lot of the guys that go to the antique engine shows and stuff, especially here in the Northeast, there's always 2 or 3 vendors that are Sten's dealers, and they bring the Sten stuff, and they give you good deals. I mean, you can get, like you said, the cutoffs. You paid 10 for 14 bucks, $1.40 each. That's a hell of a deal. I mean, God, $1.40 a piece. That's great. You can charge $5 and you've tripled your money. I mean, phenomenal, right? So yeah, definitely good. One thing I would talk about too, you talk about these Sten's parts, stuff like that, fuel filters. I did a video on this a while back, but I want to reiterate again, because a customer of mine tried to cheapen out and he bought some cheap fuel filters at the flea market. Watch the ones that don't have the barbs on the end, because I've had so many people come to me with their tractor and the fuel filter is nearly falling off. And that's dangerous. Your muffler and your pipe is right there. That fuel falls off, the vapors, man, you're going to get a fire and torch that thing. So all I'm saying is you really got to watch fuel filters. Even if you're buying the aftermarket or lower priced ones, 2 things. Make sure the barbs are on there. Make sure you're using the right size clamps to clamp it so it doesn't pull off the barb. Okay. I'm a fan of those spring clamps. I really like them, but make sure it's just before the barb so the barb holds it on. I've had too many customers come to me and the fuel filter, basically I touch it and the fuel line falls off because the cheap Chinese filter doesn't have a barb. It's just straight. And over time and vibration, the fuel line just walks itself off. I mean, that's scary. That is really scary. Let's see. What else is going on? Hey, Craig, are you working on that? Is the 576? Which one are you working on now? I know you got a couple of them you got going. And whatever happened to your pool line? Did you donate it or did you end up giving it away to somebody? I know you were talking about your fireman's fund there. Hold on 1 second. Little beverage, little water. Hold on. It was funny yesterday. I just started this stream real quick when I got the book, and I think Maddie must have been doing a set of choppers or something in the dentist's office, and he chimed in for 2 minutes just because he saw me. That was funny. I've been looking at some of your streams, Twisted R and you guys over there, and Doug, I seen you on those too. All the Small Engine Nation guys. Sometimes you guys go crazy. I see the live streams with 5 or 6 guys, their pictures all over the live stream. I don't really know how to do that right now, but it was pretty intense. You had like 6 or 8 guys all on the screen, and sometimes it would cut from one person to another person depending on who was talking. I don't know if it was voice activated, but it was pretty cool. You guys had a bunch of cool stuff. It was fun. My kids were joking on me yesterday, and I got to ask you guys this. There's a guy on YouTube. It's called Go-Karts or Gone Fishing and Go-Karts. I think it is something like that. GFGK, something like that. Anyway, my kids were saying GF, Gone Fishing, is an adult dating site. So they think I'm like looking at an adult dating site. I'm like, what? I was like, GF, Gone Fishing, GK, Go-Karts. Oh, Gone Fishing. That's where you're on a dating site. It's like, no. So I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I guess there's an adult dating site called Gone Fishing. I don't know. But anyway, Gone Fishing Go-Karts were doing a 5-horsepower Briggs build, which was pretty intense. And they painted it a real cool purple, so that was pretty cool. They were working on that yesterday. Yeah, Go-Kart Gone Fishing. Yep. Yeah, cool guys. 576, let's read what you got here, Craig. 576, BG55, Poulon. Yeah, that's cool. The BG55, I tell you, I've had a BG56 for, 10 years. I love it, and it works phenomenal. And I think I have to clean the carburetor a little bit because I haven't touched the thing in 10 years, but I use that thing all the time. I don't have a big yard, and it works good on my leaves and my sand and stuff like that. I actually use it to clean off the cars when it's dusty snow. I like having a gas blower like that. Craig, I'm looking at all the comments here. Yeah, OEM. Yeah, if they want OEM, you would be surprised. I had a customer one time wanted me to rebuild the engine in his Massey Ferguson MF12, which is a Kohler K301. And aftermarket parts, just the parts, if they were aftermarket, would have been about $190. OEM Kohler parts were over $1,000. Just the piston was like $269 because it wasn't available for what he wanted to do. He wanted to go 3 over because the bore was pristine. He just wanted a quick hone. I said, you can go 10 over and the piston's like $100. No, he wanted the 3 over, but it was ridiculous. Did it, and the thing worked out great. But the whole build was a ridiculous amount of money. But hey, it's okay. James, oh God, I got to get going on that. I have it sitting on the bench. I have it in a few pieces right now. But right now, because of the weather here, we're supposed to have rain all day today. It's been sunny and 70s. So I've been trying to push out lawnmowers and tractors. And traditionally, Easter weekend is when all the flowers start popping, the grass starts growing, and everybody wants their mowers. So to me, it's good money, and I'll take it. I mean, I'm exhausted. I mean, right now, I was going to go pick up another tractor to work on tomorrow. It's supposed to be a crappy day tomorrow with rain. I say, you know what? I'll do a little bit tomorrow. And then, talking about, like I said before, I reinvest. I had a mower deck, a John Deere, on an L series tractor. A lot of them use, what is it? I'm trying to think the size bolt, 15/16 nuts and spindle nuts and the nuts on the pulleys for the John Deere 42 combo decks. But he had one, it was a 42 edge deck that had 15 millimeter, but I didn't have a 15 millimeter impact socket. So what I did, in between picking up 2 tractors, I was looking where I was geographically. I was actually halfway between a Harbor Freight. So I went there, and I use Harbor Freight. I don't care. Some of the stuff's pretty good. And picked up one of their Pittsburgh 6-point impact socket sets. So, using, I had a coupon. I got an email with a coupon. Use that. It's cost me $20, so no big $20. I got 13 impact sockets. I'll be lucky I use 3 or 4 of them, but it'll pay for itself on the first time I have to use that deck, because you try and use a 5/8 socket, it's going to round off the screw or the bolt head. You're not going to do it. You got to have the right tools. Oh, cool. Look forward to it, Craig. I really look forward. I love your videos. You know, you're like me. We have the same build. How's that, Craig? And never mind, we're good looking. Anyways, um, anybody got big plans for Easter? Usually, we just pig out at my mom's house, and then we go to my sister-in-law's house. But two big meals. Usually, a ham's involved or pork roast is involved, but a lot of good eating comes Sunday. And Friday night, Good Friday. Tonight is usually some good fish. My wife's Italian, so usually it's a fish meal. So we'll have a nice dinner tonight. Fuel me up for tomorrow morning's stuff. I have to do an X300 deer tomorrow. A friend of mine bought one that had very, very low hours on it, and he wants me to tune it up and put a mulch kit on it. So that's tomorrow's stuff. Let's see. I'll try and make. Oh, James, which get together? The Dan's? You're gonna try and go with Dan's, or try and go to what is it? A Fleet Command over at Bob's. Which one? I figured I didn't hit the back. That's okay, Jess. I had the bell on so many things. I kept getting emails every 5 minutes. 8:30 tonight. What's the topic tonight, Twisted? Anything good? What are you building? Any more carts or what? You get a lot of people looking at yours, man. I was on there one time. You had like 60 people one time. It was crazy. Bunch of guys on there. Like I said, the 1,000 subscriber thing, I don't have to worry about it now. I got this Chromebook here. I can do my live streams, talk to everybody. So, I'm in heaven with this thing. The one that was, well, that's that Dan Laravy's place in Norwich, Connecticut. So I don't know. I thought you were in Indy or something, James. You're going to fly out for something like that, are you? Because Dan's in Norwich, Connecticut, which is up by New London, up by the casinos in Connecticut. I thought you were Midwest. I'd love to have you, but man, what a drive for something like that. Do I think I'm going to beat Maddie? No. Am I going to have fun? Absolutely. I donated $50 to his event, pay for some food and stuff. Hey, you know what? It's a good cause. Dan does a great spread, I hear, and we have a good time. So it was worth the money. So if I'm able to drive. But where are you coming from, James? I thought you were Midwest. You're going to drive like 10, 12 hours? That sounds like a lot of traveling. That's true. You do go wherever it goes. I mean, I've driven 8 hours for a Cub Cadet, International Harvester Cub Cadet. I mean, I go nuts. That was my first foray into power equipment, was International Harvester Cub Cadets. Indy, oh my God, I think that's like a 16-hour drive, 16 or 18-hour drive. My brother went to Purdue, and I think it was a 16 or 18-hour drive. Wow, that's crazy. Hopefully you do it in 2 days, do half days there. But like I said, love to see you. Are you picking up a saw from Maddie or something? Or, is that what it is? You're picking up a 394 from Maddie, right? Yeah, if doctors let you. Is that the deal, though? You're going to pick up a saw from Maddie? That's why you're going to come out? Make it like a dual trip? That would be nice. You could pick it up. Maddie can show you the saw. Nikki. How you doing, Nick? How's the things over in the land of the Shamrock? 350. 350? Oh, okay. All right, you're picking up one of the ones here. What does he got? Like 3 of those, I think. He just fixed his dad's when he was out there in, I don't know, where's it, Oklahoma or Dakotas or somewhere. The one really? Oh, so he's going to kick my butt and you're going to get the thing as a trophy. Is that it? Okay, we'll see. What if he loses? You still going to buy it or you want to buy mine? We'll see. Mine basically is going to be OEM 346 XP with a little bit of porting because I don't have all the tools that Maddie has. I'll do a little bit of porting myself. I can with my Dremel, and I've got a 90-degree head and stuff like that. But it's not going to be crazy. I'm going to do what I can, and we'll see what goes on. I'm just looking to have some fun and meet some people, and I talk to these guys all the time, and I just want to put the names, faces to the names, and see who's who. Let's see. Who else is here? Let me look back. I really like this Chromebook because I don't have to use my glasses. I could read the live chat. It's big fonts and the video's big. It's like a 15-inch screen for $179. I recommend it to anyone doing YouTube and the live streams. I really do. It's a cheap thing. Easter egg hunt. That's at your house, James, or family homestead? 75 kids or 75 people? Wow. Which dinner, Craig? Let's see, 5:27 here. On Good Friday, the kids are out. Actually, my one of my daughters works at Home Depot, so she's working tonight. The other one's out with her fiance. I don't know where they are, but they're into whiskey and whiskey tasting and stuff like that. And I'm not a big drinker, but for some reason, my oldest daughter loves whiskey. God bless her, as long as she keeps it under control. But they go to all these whiskey bars and things like that. So more power to them. They're in their mid-20s. God bless them. My wife's out just getting groceries here in the Northeast. Stop and Shop is having a huge strike. So, worst time of year to have a strike. This is the most food prep and buying probably all year except for Christmas, and Stop and Shop's on strike. So all the other markets in our area, the ShopRites and Big Y's, they're getting flooded because, it's Passover, it's the Christian holidays and all that. So just tons of food. I mean, they're losing millions and millions of dollars. And I'm sure it's under something that's very small. I don't get it, 75 family. Wow. I don't even have 75 family. I come from a small family. I have no first cousins. My wife has a fairly large family, but, holiday time here is 20, 30 people max, so. Who else is here? Let's see. We got a good cast of characters. That's all right. Hey, Twisted, on your live, are you going to show anything going on, or is it more just chat tonight? Because I know you get a lot of people on yours. Well, that's, you said very tight family, James. That's the reason, when I met my wife, my family wasn't tight and it wasn't big, and she had a very tight-knit Italian family, and I, it felt comfortable. So, that was part of the allure, I guess, to be part of a big family. So that's good, though. You need family, especially with, unfortunately, what happened to you recently. You're lucky you have that. And I believe, honestly, that the prayers did count, and they did count for something and helped you through. And hopefully good health will see you through. What else do we have here? Nikki, expand on that. Don't my mistake chamfer ports. Don't chamfer them or chamfer them? You mean chamfer them so we don't pull a ring? What are we talking about, Nick? I remember, talking about, not getting religious on everybody, talking about like prayers and stuff like that. I remember my oldest daughter was diagnosed with cancer when she was in high school, and we didn't know, stage 4B, and we were like, oh my God. And I honestly believe divine intervention, because stage 4B, she shouldn't have been around, and God willing, she's been around 8 more years now. So I think that was my one gimme from the guy upstairs, and I appreciate that. So anyway, all right, enough of that. On the road working, Twisted, or just on the road? Let's see. Nikki, come on, tell me. I don't want to make a mistake. What am I not going to do? When you say chamfer, do you mean chamfer so the rings won't grab, or don't chamfer? I think if you don't chamfer, the rings may have a chance to grab. So enlighten me, Nick. Let me know what's going on. Did you have an experience where you grabbed a ring or something, or expand on your chamfer port comment? I'd like to know what that means before I delve into this thing. I know on these XPs, the ports tend to be tapered in the direction of flow that they're supposed to be. So, I mean, I'll keep that. But are you talking the, let me see. Oh, trucker. Okay. Hey, we need truckers. God bless all you truckers. Without you, we wouldn't have anything. Absolutely. Let's see. Come on, Nick. I'm in suspense here. You got to talk to me about porting. Let's see. Stage 3. My prayers go out to you, Doug. I do believe in the Lord upstairs. I really do. Like I said, with my daughter, I honestly believe that all the prayers helped. I do. The doctors were amazed that she made a full recovery, and so are we. And I thank my lucky stars every day when I wake up that she's healthy. So, I do believe in that. Let's see. Absolutely, James. Absolutely. Let's see. Come on, Nick. You got to tell me about those ports, or put it in the comments or something. Actually, you know what? When I did the live stream yesterday, Were you guys able to see the chat afterwards? Because with this new computer here, I don't know if I have to turn on save the chat or something. Because when I went in this morning to look at what I did last night, the chat didn't come up. Usually when you replay it, you can see all the live chat and scroll through it. That way, if you miss a comment or something, you can go back. But I didn't see that this morning. So I'll have to take a look and study up on it a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, we're supposed to get, they said, heavy wind and rain starting around 9 o'clock tonight and going through to midday Easter. So that's going to be kind of lousy tomorrow working on stuff, but that's okay. No big deal. Do the chamfer. So instead of having like at the bottom of the transfers or something, put a little lead on it so that it's on just a straight 90-degree edge. Oh, buffering. That's all right. You're quite a ways away. So tank wagons for a chemical company. Tank wagons. You talking like on the road tank trucks, like you see different chemicals in with the number plates with all the different chemical hazard warnings on them, that kind of thing, Craig? I'm going to try and get to the get together that Walt's going to at Bob's place. Not Bob's place. Is it Bob? No, at Cutting Edge in upstate New York. I'm going to try and do that. I believe that's coming up in 3 weeks. So those are a lot of the Dolmar guys, and the guy Bob, the dealer, his Husky dealer is a Dolmar and Husky dealer. So he'll be there. I've got a Makita. Actually, the first chainsaw I ever owned was a donation from a good friend of mine who taught me small engines, Myron. Good friend of mine. He's just turned 89 3 or 4 days ago and still kicking and still doing wonderful. He was one of my good friends, taught me about small engines, but he taught me about small engines back in the day too, when he used to work on them when they first came out, in the 40s and 50s. Pretty cool. A step deck. Okay. Now step deck for like equipment, like a low boy or something like that. Like you'd have a dozer on or something. Or I'm not too much into the trucker lingo. All I know is I dated a girl one time. Her father had a Great Dane dump trailer, full size 55-foot dump trailer, and it went boom, and it pulled over his conventional rig right over with it. That wasn't any fun. Yes. Chamfer asked not to catch rain. 5 seconds. Ooh. The 760, the saw, the abrasive saw, K760. Wow, 5 seconds. Holy cow. Wow. That's something. That is definitely something. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Craig. Wow, that's something. Yeah, but what happened with Maddie's dad's thing the other day? I'm trying to think when he was out there. The 350 did something. I think he replaced a piston in that. Equipment. Okay. Yep. I see one guy on there. I got turned on to a guy called Let's Dig 18. I think he's in the Carolinas, but man, can that guy move dirt. Let's Dig 18, I think is his name. But oh my gosh, what a cool guy and just real handy with the equipment. Unbelievable. And then I don't know if you guys are into little equipment and even bigger equipment, but Andrew Camerata, young guy out of upstate New York. Sometimes what he does looks Rube Goldberg, but I tell you, I give the kid a lot of credit. He is not afraid of anything. He will fix anything, move anything, push dirt, dig holes. I mean, just Andrew Camerata. If you have a chance, visit his channel because he's just amazing. He's a young man, and it's just amazing the stuff he does. Stop dead on high idle. Wow. Were you able to use the cylinder and just change the piston, or do you have to change the whole top end? And was it aftermarket? I mean, I'm amazed at the price of the aftermarket top ends. I mean, $40 and you get an aftermarket top end versus $200 for OEM. I mean, a lot's to be said for OEM, I'm sure, but that's a lot of money, especially if you're just doing it to have, an extra saw, So, anyway, what else? What else can we talk about? What else I do? I don't know if any of you are familiar with with Toro push mowers and these Kohler Courage these XT engines, XT650, XT750, things like that. They've got the lousiest gas tank on them. The gas tank is known to leak. They don't have a recall. They have a dealer alert, if you will, where they alert the dealers. These tanks are like 30 some odd dollars a piece for these tanks, Kohler. And the gas caps are okay. It's just the tanks themselves, the threads, the way they molded the threads, they will not seal against the top of the gas cap, and you get fuel spit all over the place. So I like I said, I had a buddy of mine who wanted me to fix that on his, and then he said, "Can you fix the bagger?" And I'm like, "What's the matter with the bagger?" And I was telling you guys earlier on, the ones that were here, the wire frame that goes in the grass bag to hold the grass bag together on a Toro, they want like $60 just for the wire frame. This thing snapped the two spot welds. So today I brought a John Deere deck to a good friend of mine to weld up, and he threw in spot welding the frame. So he did that for me. But it's just amazing. The mower's a couple of years old and the welds are already breaking. It's just amazing. Yeah, the Kohler Courage line. Yeah, it's just, and especially the bigger ones, the 19 horse and the 20 horse, they got that stupid V valve cover with a cork gasket. I mean, who uses cork anymore in these things? I rip that stuff out. I use, the Permatex Ultra or whatever, or, Honda Bond or something like that. Everyone I know that has those, two problems. Those V-shaped valve covers leak like a sieve and you get smoke all over the place, or the top of the block is held on. Actually, it's almost like a horizontal shaft Briggs vertically. You actually have a top cover on these Courage that gets bolted down. And the front bolts on the left-hand side, if you're looking on the front, you have to make sure they're torqued and Loctited, because if they loosen up, it'll actually crack the block around the starter, where the starter mounts. It'll actually crack it vertically. So anytime I get in one of those Kohler Courage engines, I not only change the valve cover, put a good gasket with Permatex on it, but I torque and I red Loctite all the top cover bolts, because you never know, a guy will come one day and when it splits, it's hard to weld it together. And some people make like a little metal strap to go between them to hold it. But, that's Rube Goldberg. Just put the things together with Loctite and do it right. I don't know if they're still making engines, James. I mean, Wisconsin, it's funny you say Wisconsin, because around here, we had a company in Stratford, which is one next town over, made a tractor called a Baird, B-A-I-R-D, Baird Beaver, back in the 40s and 50s and early 60s. And they were powered by Wisconsin engines. So I love those engines. They were really cool. Let's see. On the upside, started. Yeah, started. That's good. Let me see. Sharp edge of the cylinder. Bevel, posture. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely remember that. Oh, you're doing resin? Craig, you doing liquid resins or pellets, or what are you doing? Because I used to do a lot of plastic molding. That's why I was wondering, are you doing liquid resins, or is it pellets, or what are you doing? Interesting. Let's see. Running behind the stream. What are you getting my voice later, Craig? I see you made a comment about running behind the stream. Let's see. Let's see. You see a lot of Wisconsins at the shows too, but they're huge. I mean, for the amount of horsepower they are, the engines are actually pretty huge. I just really like the older ones. They made them in like a copper color, the tins. I really like the look of it. It's really cool. And I think on some of them, if I'm not mistaken, some had magnetos on them too. Some of the older ones. But yeah, Wisconsin was always a good engine. A lot of them on generators too. You always see Wisconsin's on generators. Let's see. Yeah, the two-stroke tuning book. I tell you, 130 pages or something. Interesting stuff. Even though it's 40 years old, that two-stroke tuning book, you can get a free download. Just type in Two-Stroke Tuner's Guide PDF, and you can get it for free. It's a heck of a book. It's more geared toward motorcycles. So Walt would probably be excited about that, because I guess that's Walt's passion is running motocross, two-stroke motorcycles. So you always see him looking at a motocross event when he's doing a chainsaw. So that's pretty cool. Let's Let's see. Yeah, they were bulletproof, definitely. Hey, you see them at the shows, 1950s and 60s, and they're still running. So proof in the pudding on that, I tell you. What else? What else? Kohler Courage I was working on. Oh, a guy dropped off an Aaron's. Aaron's, I tell you, they make a heck of a push mower that has their disc drive system like they have on the snow blowers, the rubber disc drive. And I tell you, it's a heck of a drive system for a push mower. They're not cheap. I think the newer Aaron's with Cowies on them with their disc drive are approaching $1,000. I mean, they're expensive, but I tell you, I like that disc drive system, especially on a push mower. It is nice. But what happened was it had a Tecumseh engine on it, and the flywheel brake that has the limit switch too. So when you pull it, it opens up the limit switch so it doesn't ground out your magneto. That way it kills your ignition and then breaks your flywheel. There's a cable, which is not cheap. It's a $30 or $40 cable that has a cast on eyelet on one side and then the Z piece on the other. The Z piece goes on the engine. The eyelet piece goes on your bail, on your handlebar. And the bail itself has like a hook where that eyelet goes. Well, what happens is the cable has about a 2.5 inch adjuster on it with 2 nuts and a threaded piece. And he had it just adjusted the wrong way, so he couldn't start it. So when he left, I looked at it and, I ended up figuring it out. But another funny story, quick one. This same person brought me a tractor that his father had, a John Deere tractor that I had tuned up probably in September, October of last year. His father wasn't in the best of health, so he didn't really use it a lot. So he drops it off during the week. And this is a question for you guys, especially the ones that fix small engines. He brings it over. I look at it. The fuel filter looks new. The oil looks like it hasn't been used. The oil filter doesn't have any dirt on it. The air filter almost looks like brand new. And I'm thinking to myself, when did I work on this thing? So I look back at my notes. It was just like September, October. So he really didn't use it. And what am I going to do in a case like that? I said to him, he dropped off a mower and a pressure washer. And he said, what do I owe you for the tractor? I go, nothing. He said, what do you mean? I said, I didn't do anything. I said, I looked back at my records. I replaced 2 front tires and I did a full tune-up and I put 2 new blades on it back in September, October. I said, he probably didn't use it. And he's looking, yeah, but you got to have, your time. And I'm like, what time? I didn't spend any time. So he's trying to shove like $30, $40 in my pocket. I'm like, I felt bad. I was like, God, I didn't do anything. I mean, am I stupid for not accepting free money? I mean, he's literally throwing money at me saying, oh, you did something, but I don't know. It's just customers like that are few and far between. You don't get a lot of customers that want to throw money at you, that's for sure. But I just felt bad. I mean, literally, I said, I can't honestly put parts on this thing when it doesn't need it. Twisted, I'll catch you later on your live stream. Take care. You taking care? Oh, James, you taking off? Or is that for Twisted? I tell you, there's a few mechanics that I know, and if someone brings something to them, say it's something as simple as they didn't turn the fuel on. Okay, happens all the time. Fuel was off, it didn't run. You go over there. I've gone to people's houses, like people that live close to me, a little service call and say, oh, I can't start my snowblower. So I walk over and I just do it just nonchalantly. I walk, turn the fuel on, make sure the kill switch is on, starts right up for me, and they look at you like you're a magician. And I'm like, well, did you have the fuel on? The fuel what? Did you have the kill switch on? The kill what? And, and I'll instruct them on that. And I'll say, you know what? Give me $10 for my time. I'll go and buy a coffee, something like that. But you get a lot of unreputable small engine guys out there that will take their machine. Okay, I'll fix it for you. Give them a $150 bill. Say they did this, that, and the other thing. I won't do that. I'm sorry. I just, maybe I'm a lot more ethical. I don't know, but I can't do that, especially when you have older people. A lot of the customers I have are middle-aged and late-aged people where, they don't have a lot of money to spend. They're unlimited fixed incomes. And, if it's something as simple as, I forgot to hit the gas switch or the on-off switch, hey, no harm, no foul. Show them, Funny thing was, funny. Last year, a guy calls me up. He wants me to fix his pull starter on his errands. So he's only 5 miles away. So I drive over there, and He says, yeah, I really need the pull starter fixed because the snowstorm's coming up. We had a big snowstorm coming up. I go, just use your electric start. The what? The electric start. What electric start? So I show him. Now, this is one of those Aaron's compact, the black ones they sell, the Snow Tech or something. Now, Chinese engine on those, their engine, but they are, I don't know if it's Lawson or whatever they call it, not Lawson, Lucen or whatever those engines are. But anyway, the starter's huge. It's like a starter, a Bendix starter, like on a Kawasaki. It's huge. And I said to him, big square box. Pull the box and look, there's a plug in there. You plug it in. He goes, I never knew what that was. I said, you never took it off? He goes, no. I said, you read the manual? No. I said, well, who put this together? He goes, oh, they put it together at Home Depot and just showed me how to pull the cord. So this guy had the snowblower for 4 years. He never knew it had electric start. And ironically, when I showed him the electric start, I said, okay, I'll take the pull start with me. He goes, well, do I really need the pull start? And I'm like, guy, you had me come out to do the pull start. Let me do the pull start. I mean, what am I going to charge you, $10 to do the pull start? All it was the rope snap. No big deal. But just crazy. 9-day to 14-week due to being stuck in customs. Holy cow. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, customs is nuts when you're doing stuff from out of country. Yeah, $35 minimum. Yeah, but you know what? If I'm going somewhere and Twisted, to your point, if I'm going somewhere and a guy's 2 miles from me and it's on my way somewhere and I stop for 5 minutes, to me, that's a coffee break. Give me $10, I'll go buy myself coffee in a Danish. Hopefully, in a case like that, I could make a customer. All right, I hand him my card or I email him my card, and a lot of times I'll hear back. No big deal. One thing where people were really getting wrenched last year were a lot of Toro throwers, and I talked about this in a video a while back, have the Torch brand spark plugs, which are garbage. They're Chinese spark plugs and they're garbage. 9 out of 10 of them blow up after, maybe 6 months and they just don't spark. So I had one guy come to me saying, I can't start it. So the first thing I looked in was, it was a Torch plug. You put the Torch plug in, start it right up. He said, I brought to another guy. He said, I needed a carburetor. I wanted to get a second opinion. I said, carburetor? So it's those people who want to charge you, whatever, $100, throw in a carburetor, put the Torch plug in. It didn't need the carburetor. I don't know. It's just funny how some of the guys, the one I had today, the Husqvarna I was working on today, oil hadn't been changed in 3.5 years. It had the date on the oil filter. It's a good thing to do. Take a paint marker and put the date you changed the oil on the oil filter and with a paint marker. That way you'll know when you see it. You'll know your initials, number one, but you'll know when it was last changed. I mean, fuel filters, you can see they turn amber color and get all nasty. But oil filters and oil, put the date on the oil filter. That way you see what it is. But this oil it looked like Texas crude. It was black and thick as molasses. I don't know how the darn thing run. It was a V-twin Briggs 22 horsepower. And one thing, those who work on those Briggs twins that have the suitcase oil filter that has that little square or rectangle, if you will, on the top, that seals, or supposed to seal, the intake for the carburetor, the plastic intake. This guy, whoever worked on it, the thing shifted slightly. He clamped it down with the 4 bolts, and it was sucking dirt because it wasn't clamped properly and it didn't seal. And I don't know how this engine is still running. It's not smoking. There was literally all kinds of sand and dust and dirt inside the intake. So, I told the guy, I charged him, I charged him fairly for what I did. But I said to him, I said, you really got to keep up on this. 3 years with no maintenance, at least change your oil, change your filters, but who knows? Timmy, what's going on, brother? I don't know. We've been talking about a lot of stuff, Tim, talking about the get-together, talking about the race. Mr. Faust said he was going to try and drive out to the get-together to pick up his Dr. Olson 350. So we'll see if that happens. It'd be fun to meet him. But what's going on with you? Anything good, Tim? Let's see. There you go. Tim's a good guy. The Georgia Peach. How's that, Tim? You get any rain down there, Tim? I know you guys got bolted with that stuff over the past few weeks. Just got up from a nap. Well, it's Good Friday. I hope you had a good nap. we're talking about customers and different problems and trying to get a lot of work done on a day off, Good Friday. I just wrapped up my day. I started about 6 a.m. I wrapped up about an hour ago. I figured I'd come on and do a live stream on my new Chromebook. I love this thing. Let's see. Who else is on here? We got Craig, Nikki, Jim, Tim. How's the video and audio, guys? Because there's some sun in the background. I didn't know if it was making anything blurry. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm using the camera that's on the laptop and whatever microphone is on the laptop. So no kids today. Hey, how do you get that, Tim? My kids are grown and they're still in the house. My oldest is engaged and she said she's never leaving. So I don't know. Aussie mechanic, expert on two-stroke surfing. Oh, no kidding. Wow. Oh, there's another guy. I think it's called Workshop. I think that's his actual title, Workshop. I think he's also an Aussie or a New Zealander who does custom two-strokes for either motorcycles or something like that. But what was cool, the other day, I watched one of his videos on rotary valve two-strokes. I wasn't too familiar. Reed valve, of course, everyone's familiar with Reed valve, but rotary valve two-strokes. If you get a chance, look up the guy named Workshop and look up rotary valve two-stroke. Pretty cool stuff. I wasn't that familiar with rotary valve engines, but rotary valve two-strokes are pretty cool. So, let's see. Karma. I do believe in karma. I'm telling you. You get what you get. You know what I mean? You know, you do a good deed, hopefully you'll get one back. You do a bad deed, well, you never know. Watch your back. Let's see. My mother always told me, you know, just kill them with kindness, because otherwise, you know, they can't do anything about it. Oh, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it for now. It's almost 6 o'clock. The wife and kids aren't home. I have leftovers from yesterday, chicken francais. Maybe I'll eat that. But anywho, subscribe, like, whatever you guys can do. 1,000 subscribers, I don't care anymore because I got this thing. I love it. Hopefully we will see Twisted R later. Maybe we'll see Craig. You said you're uploading something later. I'll be sure to take a look at that. Ever think about doing live, Craig? I love it. I love with the chats. I love having fun with you guys. I think it's cool. Anyway, let me take off. And guys, take care. Be safe. I will definitely be on tomorrow again. Well, after I get everything going, it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be a lousy day. Maybe it's time to work on some chainsaws downstairs. So maybe I'll do that. But I'm hoping I could see the chats here when I sign off and go back on later, just so I could look back at comments and things. But right now, yesterday when I did it, I don't know if it was my setup or not, but we'll check it out later. Guys, thanks for joining me. Stay safe, be well, and we'll talk to you later. I'm going to hit end stream. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.